Well, good morning on this Wednesday. I hope you're doing well. Cheers to you. A classic Bible verse mug that someone shared with me. And so, cheers to you this morning. Hope that you're doing well. Uh, our staff, right before COVID hit, had been spending a lot of time talking about emotional intelligence. And there's been a lot of research that says that EQ or emotional intelligence, that your emotional quotient is actually more important than your IQ, your intelligence quotient. That if they want to determine the success of people, they look at how they navigate their emotions. How well do they know their own emotions? Can they manage emotions? Do they understand the emotions of others? Can they manage the emotions of others? And then are they actually able to motivate themselves properly? And so when you think about all the ways that emotional intelligence shows up in our lives, it affects the way we interact with those we love the most in our homes, our roommates, our coworkers, the way we deal with strangers. It affects the way we feel about ourselves when no one is around. And so emotional intelligence is this incredibly powerful thing. And I want to take a moment and just share with you something about emotional intelligence connected to communication. Because a part of how we experience the world and a part of how we reflect our emotional intelligence to others, either in our ability to communicate with them or not communicate, what to say, what not to say, is in our words, is in how we talk to people. And so I was reading this book last year in the middle of the year, and it gave this really helpful rubric of 4 words that you can actually write out in quadrants, starting with 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then to make sure that you go through this process to really think about how you communicate. And the book recommended that when you go to talk, that you actually um, write these out, particularly when you're going to have a conversation with someone about something significant, until you just ingrain this habit in your head. And so I'll walk you through these 4 words as we think about our emotional intelligence and the way that we communicate to people. And so the first thing that it says to do in this communication rubric is to analyze. To write the word analyze down in a box on like a quadrant one, analyze. And analyze is what I want to say. So what I want to say to my spouse in this moment is um, you never do that well enough. What I want to say to my child is, why are you so dumb that you can't pick up your stuff? What I want to say to my coworker is, why is it you're so undependable? What I want to say to that waitress is, I've asked you 10 times to bring me the ketchup. What I want to say on social media, what I want to tweet, what I want to analyze, like actually to say, what is it that I want to say? Like an honest evaluation of what it is that you want to say. Not filtering it first. Like again, you're not saying this yet. So you're just saying, what is it I want to say? And then the second one from analyze, number 2, is you go to extrapolate. If I say what I want to say, what will happen? If I say to my child, what I want to say is that you're lazy and you're not dependable, what will happen? If what I want to say to my spouse is, you never seem to blank, and what will happen? What I want to say is, I want to punch you in the face, and what will happen? So extrapolate out, analyze, what is it that I really want to say? And then extrapolate. If I say that, what will happen? And then the third part of the rubric, so you go 1, then you go 2, then you go down back to 3, is you come back and you say prioritize. And prioritize is what I really want to happen is what I really want to happen. So the end game, what is the end game that I want to happen? So if what I really want is my spouse and I to be at peace that evening, what I really want is my child to understand responsibility, what I really want is my coworker to be able to process it better in the future, what I really want is the ketchup, what I really want is whatever. And so you really do the step of prioritizing, like, what is the end game? What's the best thing that I want? Not just what I want to say. And then if I did say what I really want to say, what would happen? But to step back and say, what's what I'm really hoping for? What do I really, what's the goal? What's the good? And then the last one, the fourth one, is to navigate. So you analyze, you extrapolate, you prioritize, and then you navigate. And navigate is what you should say or do to get what it is that you're really after. And what you'll find out is sometimes when you get to the navigate step, what you'll realize is you shouldn't talk. Or what you will realize is that you should talk later. Or what you realize is you shouldn't hit send on the message. What you realize is that you're going to need to calm your emotions. What you realize is what you were about to say actually wouldn't get you to what you want. It would just make a point. It would just unleash anger. It would actually hurt, not help. And so I actually encourage people when we talk about this to go through that rubric and to think about those words, to analyze, to extrapolate, to prioritize, and to navigate, and to say, which of those do you struggle with the most? Which of those are you not good at? Which of those do you normally miss? Is that you just process things wrong and you want to fly off the handle? Is it that you actually don't stop to say this will be the consequence of it? Is that you don't care and you'd rather just blow up than actually consider what you really want? Is it that you struggle how to find the solution to say what it is that you really want to say? But I think it's a helpful rubric to think about managing our emotions. We all want to be better at communicating to people because communication is the way that we show emotional intelligence. It's one of the ways we show emotional intelligence. So I want you to think about that rubric. Analyze what I want to say, then to go to extrapolate. If I say that, what's going to happen? Thirdly, prioritize what I really want to happen. Is not necessarily what I wanted to say, but what I really want is the end game. Extrapolate. And then fourthly, navigate what really do I need to say or do instead. All right. I hope you have an incredible Wednesday. Be encouraged. We're going to get through